What's going on, guys? Jesse Haynes at CardLines.com, and in this episode we're back with our friends at DraftKings to look at the new Rainmakers product, talking about 5 winning strategies to keep in mind as you get into Rainmakers. These are 5 things that I wish my younger self would have known in my Rainmakers infancy about 3 months ago, but fortunately as I've gotten into the Rainmakers and explored and had a lot of fun and won some money along the way, I've learned a lot that I want to pass on to you as well, so that's the point of today's video. But first, this is super duper important, so we need everybody to listen very intently. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I need you to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to enable notifications with that bell, get it smashed, and then we are good to go. Thank you for your support. And without further ado, here's our Rainmaker strategy guide. So number 1, it's very important that you're familiar with the rules, and you understand that they are constantly evolving. Rainmakers is very new, and it's avant-garde in a way that it combines DFS and sports card collecting in a way that a lot of collectors resonate with, but it's also so new that it has changed a lot since I've even signed up. They've added a whole new sport, so they're doing a lot of stuff with it, and it is constantly changing. Fortunately, CardLines has your back. I have written and published a lot of Rainmakers articles, so regardless if it's football, if it's the new craft and burn tool, whatever it is that you need to learn about Rainmakers, just come to cardlines.com, give Rainmakers a search, and you're going to find a lot of stuff. There's even video reviews, much like this one, for all the different tools and features, so you can learn step by step how to get involved with Rainmakers and get a feel for the lay of the land before you ever start playing the game. Also note that you can profit without winning any contests. Most of the money I've made on Rainmakers has not actually been in winning contests, it has been on the marketplace. So you can, just like sports cards, you can buy and you can sell on the marketplace. You can also buy packs that are NFT drops and open them and sell the contents on the marketplace. So you can technically sign up to play Rainmakers without having any intent of participating in the DFS games. You can totally just buy to flip based on market demand. If you are particularly high on a golfer that you think is going to have a breakout weekend at a particular event, then you can buy his cards or her cards beforehand and get them listed and flipped if said golfer does well. It is 100% just like when I say, oh, I'm going to buy Jaren Jackson Jr. Prism rookie cards before the season because I think he's poised to have a breakout year, and then if he does and they gain 50% in value and I flip them and make the profits, same exact thing applies to Rainmakers, but you don't even have to mess with shipping, so it is fantastic. All you have to do is just go to Marketplace, and then you will be able to see most of these are going to be Rainmakers auctions. They of course have a few other things, but if you're particularly interested in, let's say, PGA, you can click here and you can get a feel for all the different players involved. If I'm looking for John Rahm, you can go here and see his different cards. You can sort by rarity, by tier, and like I said, a lot of it's just speculative investing in players that you think are going to be on the rise. And if you're correct, the demand is going to be better. That said, keep in mind that unlike sports cards, legacy is not as important as performance with Rainmaker. So my example is, while LeBron is the best active basketball player, he is not like currently the best basketball player in the world. He just has the best legacy. So his cards are going to increasingly gain value over time, but as a fantasy basketball player, he is not going to be nearly as valuable as he was in his peak. So with Rainmaker, since it is so performance based for daily fantasy sports, you need to bear that in mind as you buy and sell. My next point, you do not have to be a subject matter expert, but it certainly helps. As of right now, Rainmakers has 3 sports. They have PGA golf, they have UFC fighting, I think. UFC fighting, it's fighting. UFC fighting, and football. Football is the only sport that I watch there, and it is mostly 2022 stuff, so I've never actually played a DFS game of football. So it makes Rainmakers pretty difficult. I think I would fare much better in the competition itself if I was an expert. Usually in the NBA and NFL, I have 10 to 15 guys that I'm looking to buy and 10 to 15 guys that I look to sell pretty constantly, and that list is always evolving. With golf, I don't really feel like I know enough about it to do the same thing, so I'm also kind of learning a new sport as I learn Rainmakers, and that alone makes it complicated. So if you're big on UFC or if you're big on PGA, Rainmakers would be even better, and I think you'd be poised to win better as well. Number 4, there is value in knowing what you're buying. This applies to sports cards in general. I've seen the joke, and we probably all have, about the quickest way to turn $2,000 into $70 is just opening a box of Prism cards. You never know what you're going to pull, and while you occasionally hit the home run, you're also oftentimes going to be left with a lot of regret, wishing that you can undo what you just did. I've been there. 100% I've been there. Just like how you can go to eBay and say, hey, I want a 1996 Topps Kobe Bryant rookie, you're 100% going to get a Kobe Bryant rookie. You just will pay a premium for it, as opposed to if you go buy a pack of Topps 1996 cards and hope to pull a Kobe rookie, odds are you probably won't get one, but if you do, it's a bargain and you're going to make a lot more money. In the same way, you're a lot safer just going to the marketplace and buying cards. On all the money I've made on Rainmakers thus far, it has mainly been from buying and flipping cards based on upcoming events. It has not been in the drops. In the drops, I actually just did the math beforehand. I've bought $100 of drops, and looking at the current prices, I have about $18 in tokens. So that is a terrible return on investment. So obviously, I didn't get very lucky, but your story might be different. That said, if I were to have bought $100 of just cards off the marketplace, I would not be down 80%. There's some kind of metaphor about a bird in hand that makes sense here. I always butcher it, so I'm not going to say it. But keep that in mind with Rainmakers. The same thought applies. And finally, the higher contests have way better odds of you winning. I know that it seems when you're dabbling like a good idea to get into the core contest, and it is. That's how I started, just trying to figure out the rules and the scoring and all that stuff is either outlined on CardLines.com or just Rainmakers FAQ. But I do want you to understand that the more exclusive contests are going to not only pay better, but gives you significantly better odds. Let's give that a look. As of right now on PGA, there's nothing being booked, but if I go to live, it shows you the contest that is underway right now. So on the ones that have core requirements, and we've talked about the tiers before in the past, so go back, and if you are trying to brush up, go back and look at a previous video. But look how many people, thousands of people, 27,000 people, 19,000 people. There are thousands of people playing all these free contests for $2,500. And then down here on the rarity, this one pays out $35,000 instead of $2,500. And there's only 7.8 thousand people playing as opposed to 19,000. These have less than 1,000 people playing. So there's about a third to a quarter playing these contests as there are at this core level. And the cards, if you're buying core cards versus rare cards, just remember that your best player has to be from the most unique tier. So if you're playing this one, you're going to have 4 rare cards. So you're going to have to pay a premium for it, but I think it is better to pay a premium and have the better odds and the better payouts than to buy core cards and compete against literally over 20,000 people in some cases. Thanks for watching our video, and I really do encourage everybody to try Rainmakers. It's really been fun pushing up my sleeves and diving straight in over the last 3 months and learning not only more about the PGA, but enjoying my process along the way as I take on Rainmakers PGA, UFC, and start looking ahead to 2023 football, which is what I am the most excited about. We're trying to give you a free pack of cards. All you have to do is click the link below for a free 8-card starter pack on your friends at CardLines. Like and subscribe. See you next time.